Now on CoastTV News.
Ellendale eyes why town officials say more cameras are needed. Development district decisions.
There are other partners that are willing to come into Georgetown to help us improve the services for our local citizens and those visitors. It would be great.
The program in Georgetown that is up for renewal and why some small businesses say it's beneficial.
Good Wednesday morning, Delmarva. Some patchy fog out there, primarily from the midshore Kent County on northward. It's a mild start. We say hello to sunshine. Temperatures pushing to near 60. How long does the thaw continue? I'll have details.
Goodbye, Harbaugh. The Ravens part ways with the most successful coach in franchise history.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Today is Wednesday, January 7th, 2026.
Yeah, Chris touched upon the fog. Now, for most of the peninsula, I've been checking the traffic cameras. We're not seeing that fog on the main roadways. It appears it's limited to back roads. We actually have a couple of school delays. Information on that is on our website.
Now turning to First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrubano. Chris, we got the fog, but we also have warmer weather, so I feel like it kind of evens out for a nice Wednesday.
Good morning, Grace and Matt. Yes, we are in for a beautiful afternoon, and it's quite mild out there to start, believe it or not. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s and 30s, 38 right now in Cambridge, so we've had quite a range in temperature. What's happening is a warm front's lifting through the area, so we have warmer, moist air riding over the much colder ground, and that's creating fog. But the most fog we've seen is points north across the northern midshore. You can see northern areas, Easton through Churchill, Dover, north of Milford. That dense fog advisory remains in effect through 10 a.m. Caroline, Kent, Queen Anne's, Talbot counties. And you can see visibility to the east of Cambridge down to at least about a quarter of a mile there, and the visibility improving in Dover. Temperatures in the 30s, northern portions of the area. Upper 40s to lower 50s to the south. So it's all about location this morning. Winds are going to be picking up later on this morning as a cold front pushes through the area. You can see the warm front lifting northward. The cold front's still back off to the west. It's a rather weak front, not really going to do much as far as temperatures or precipitation. Mostly sunny skies today. Those winds, as I mentioned, will pick up late this morning, gusting to near 30 miles an hour. We top out around 60 degrees. Our thaw is going to continue through late week. We will talk about rain chances, though, arriving just in time for the weekend. I'll break that down a little later on the newscast.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour, Ellendale officials are trying to figure out how to move forward with a plan to increase security and surveillance throughout the town.
CoastTV News reporter Lisa Weber is live in Ellendale. And Lisa, the plan would put security cameras on Delmarva power poles.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Yes, Ellendale leaders said that they received a $100,000 grant to install security cameras on Delmarva power poles like one you see right here. But according to the town, the installation process of those cameras has not been simple. And this is the type of camera the town is looking to install. It would provide a 270-degree view and the ability to see up to 15 meters each direction. However, from previous reports, town officials were told by Delmarva Power that they could not attach the cameras to those poles. And the town said they have thought about putting up their own poles next to the Delmarva Power ones. Town leaders say they now face a March deadline to use that money or they will lose it. And the town will further discuss this camera project at tonight's town council meeting at 7 o'clock. Back to you.
Lisa Weber in Ellendale. The security camera plan is the latest in Sussex County. It was in October of last year that Rehoboth Beach installed fixed live stream cameras in key public locations, and that included the roundabout on Rehoboth Avenue and several intersections on Rehoboth Avenue. Now, at the time, city officials told Coast TV that the live stream cameras are not always rolling and are used only to review incidents after approval from Delaware State Police.
New this morning, a number of Delaware's top-ranking Democratic elected officials are participating in a legislative summit. This is taking place on the campus of Delaware State University in Dover. One of the breakout panels focuses on the most pressing issues for Sussex County. Governor Matt Meyer is scheduled to hold a fireside chat to close things out in the afternoon.
Also this afternoon in Legislative Hall in Dover, the Driving Under the Influence Prevention Task Force looking at concerns over convictions, including the rate of arrests and the rate of convictions, along with reasons why some arrests did not lead to a conviction. The task force is also looking at how often the increased penalties for subsequent offenses are imposed and they're expected to finalize recommendations in the upcoming weeks.
The Downtown Development District program getting a look at by officials in Georgetown for renewal. It's a move that could affect businesses, property owners, and future developments. As part of the new review, town officials say they'll also consider potential boundary changes, noting the district benefits not only businesses, but the local economy as well. Some small businesses say the funding and incentives can make projects affordable that may be out of reach for others.
Time that we can partner with outside groups, like I said, including the state, or if there are other partners that are willing to come into Georgetown to help us improve the services for our local citizens and those visitors, it would be great.
Georgetown has had this program for about 10 years now and are looking to apply for another 5.
Baltimore Ravens on Tuesday fired longtime head coach John Harbaugh. His exit comes after the Ravens were eliminated from playoff contention in a loss to the Steelers Sunday night, and it's the first time since 2021 the team will not be in the postseason. The Ravens were preseason betting favorites to win the Super Bowl, but the team finished with a losing record for just the third time in 18 seasons under Harbaugh. The 63-year-old led the Ravens to the Super Bowl title in 2012. Several NFL teams with head coaching vacancies, they're expected to reach out to Harbaugh.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore announcing new economic agreements with most of the state employee unions. The deals come as the state balances tight economic conditions while aiming to support public workers. More than 11,000 state employees will see the equivalent of a 2% pay increase. That's a $37 million investment in the workforce. The governor says the agreements reflect months of good faith negotiations with a focus on fair pay, workplace safety, and fiscal responsibility. State leaders say talks are still underway with other unions.
And you are now getting a live look at our nation's capital. The latest round of congressional Democrats opposing the Trump administration taking place. This one involves the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro over the weekend, and now other potential targets for U.S. intervention are raising alarm.
Meanwhile, uncertainty grips Venezuela as NBC's Alice Barr shows us. President Trump insists he's running that country.
In a new sign of the importance of Venezuelan oil, President Trump announcing Venezuela's interim authorities will turn over 30 to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. to be sold at market price, and that President Trump would control the profits to benefit the people of both countries. That as he praised the U.S. mission to capture Venezuela's now deposed authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro.
It was so complex, 152 airplanes, many. Talk about boots on the ground. We had a lot of boots on the ground.
Maduro and his wife now facing federal charges in the U.S., accused of bringing tons of illegal drugs into this country. While on Capitol Hill, Democrats are questioning the motivation for Maduro's removal.
The president, said this was about narco trafficking, and now he's saying it's about oil.
All members of Congress are due for a briefing today on the operation amid mounting questions about what's next, as President Trump asserts the U.S. is in charge in Venezuela, while the country's interim president, a close Maduro ally, insists no external agent is governing the country. Her government cracking down on dissent and detaining journalists.
Colombia agradece la convocatoria.
And across the border in Colombia, where President Trump has signaled he may focus next, heightened alert.
This sets a precedent that is extremely worrying because it threatens regional peace and security.
While European allies are voicing deep concern amid new details from the White House that President Trump and his team are discussing a range of options for acquiring Greenland, and that using the U.S. military is always an option, calling it a national security priority. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
New overnight, tires on a plane blew out after it landed at Atlanta's airport on Tuesday. The airline flight arrived at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport after a 7-hour trip coming from Peru. According to an FAA spokesperson, the tires blew out after the plane landed safely. The blowout occurred on the plane's rear landing gear tires, and no injuries were reported immediately following the incident.
Later today, Tidewater Utilities in Milton has a public hearing in front of Sussex County's Planning and Zoning Commission. This is the attempt of getting a conditional use of land to the existing water treatment facility south of Maryland Avenue. Tidewater wants to upgrade water storage capacity by putting in a new water tank And they say this is needed to support fire flow and additional average demand. After today, a public hearing is scheduled at the February 10th County Council meeting.
And we're just getting started here on this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Coming up, record-setting snowfall, the impact of this winter storm in Alaska. How much did they get in a short period of time?
Also, accident alerts abound. What was the top driver in emergency calls as we look at the trend in Georgetown for the fire company in 2025?
Still ahead, travel timeline tweaks where Ellendale Airlines says it could have a short-term impact on its customers. And there we have Chris Cam, our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobono in the Weather Center. We got a mild day heading our way. We check in with Chris next.
Good Wednesday morning, Delmarva. It's all about location this morning as we take a live look into Ocean View. 50 degrees there, but we are dealing with some patchy fog, primarily across the midshore, along the Cambridge area, up through Kent County, through Talbot County as well. Not much in the way of fog throughout Sussex County, but as I mentioned, all about location as far as temperatures. 39 in Cambridge, but we're at 50 in Ocean City, 46 in Lewis as this warm front continues pushing through the area, gusting to 20 in Salisbury, but the winds are going to be picking up as this weak front swings through later on this morning. Temperatures are going to be rising from the 40s and 50s this morning into the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees this afternoon. A really nice day. As I mentioned, those winds picking up, gusting to near 30 miles an hour. We'll talk about some unsettled weather rolling into the weekend. Full 70 forecast is just minutes away.
Thank you, Chris. In Delaware, Availo Airlines announcing some initiatives they say are a result of stronger cash position. This includes its 3 aircraft bases at the Wilmington Airport, and the airline announced on Tuesday that they are making near-term schedule changes that will impact many customer itineraries, and that communication will be sent directly to impacted customers by email and text. Availo has been operating out of Wilmington for nearly 3 years.
Habitat for Humanity of Wicomico County announcing they're getting 2 grants totaling $165,000. This is through the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development's state revitalization programs, and the funding includes $65,000 to support water and sewer infrastructure for Habitat's newest home build on Christopher Street in Salisbury. There's also $100,000 to provide down payment assistance subsidies for Habitat homebuyers in Wicomico in Somerset counties.
Amazon customers may be getting money back. A new FTC settlement opens the door for refunds tied to Amazon Prime signups. Amazon customers can now claim under a $2.5 billion settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, and this is over alleged deception Prime enrollment practices. As part of the deal, Amazon will issue a $1.5 billion in refunds and pay a $1 billion civil penalty without admitting any wrongdoing. Some customers will receive automatic refunds, while others must file a claim through the settlement website.
The U.S. Mint announced one of the coins, the Mayflower Compact Quarter, is now officially in circulation, and this is the first of 5 new quarter designs that are getting released this year. The coins marked the Revolutionary War, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Gettysburg Address. The U.S. Mint will also release other collectible, non-circulating coins. This is all celebrating America's 250th birthday.
Welcoming back sunny skies after a few gloomy days on the peninsula. We continue to thaw out, though. Temperatures are going to be well above average here to today, tomorrow, and to round out the week. We will talk about some rain, though, for the weekend coming up.
Time is 6:18, and we are giving you a live look near the banks of the Chop Tank River in Cambridge. Chris, I get to break out my Blake Shelton song reference on days like this because we are bringing back the sunshine.
Indeed we are. After a few gloomy days on Delmarva. Also, the warming trend continues as well as we take a live look in through Lewis. Temperature there 45 degrees. That's almost close to where we should be for an average high for this time of year. Dense fog advisory does continue for Kent County as well as Queen Anne's, Talbot, Caroline counties. This runs through 10 a.m. Could see visibility as low as a quarter of a mile, and that's really the zone where we've seen the fog this morning. You could see across Cambridge, primarily primarily away from the coast. Visibility down to a quarter mile there. We're doing pretty well across much of Sussex County, but you can't rule out some low level of moisture away from the coast as that warmer air filters over the much colder ground. We've seen quite a range in temperature, 35 in Harrington to 51 in Ocean Pines. Winds are still relatively light out of the southwest. Winds are going to be picking up through the afternoon, gusting to near 30 miles an hour, but we are about 15 degrees milder in Salisbury than where we were just 24 hours ago as that warming trend continues across the area. Showers across the north. You see some freezing rain, some snow up there as this area of low pressure pushes across New England. That's going to stream across a weak front later on today. So we continue to thaw out after our cold start to the year. We were below average. Temperatures were in the 30s. We were above average yesterday, and that trend continues today. 58 in Milford, 60 in Georgetown. We'll see a high of 56 Easton, 60 Vienna, 60 Salisbury to 61 in Chincoteague. So there's the clear skies through the afternoon today. Winds are going to be shifting out of the west-northwest. Tonight we'll stay clear, falling into the low 30s, and then Thursday looking pretty nice as well. Not as mild, still though a pleasant day with temperatures in the low 50s. There's the winds picking up later this morning through the early afternoon, gusting to near 30, 35 miles an hour, but it's a brief window of breezy conditions because those winds are going to be relaxing through the evening and overnight. 53 for our Thursday, so we're still pretty nice Thursday, and even Friday looking pretty decent. I think the rain holds off until Friday night. Saturday is the unsettled day. That is all thanks to a cold front that's going to be pushing through the area primarily Saturday night. Few showers early Saturday morning, and then the main bulk of moisture I think rolls through late Saturday afternoon through Saturday evening, and then we turn much windier into the day on your Sunday. So we're looking at a high of 66 Saturday, so the mild trend continues. 50 into Sunday, very windy day, and then we're looking at a high of only 42 degrees by Monday. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And new this morning, the Dagsboro Police Department is releasing its data from 2025. According to the department, the most arrests they made in any category last year was DUI with 17, 11 were drug-related, and 9 were terrorist-threatening. Several of the department's officers have advanced their training scheduled for this year.
Georgetown's fire company also showing their work for 2025. They say the company responded to 413 calls within town limits and 359 outside. By far, motor vehicle accidents, that was the #1 category for calls. The company responded to 23 structure fires.
Coming up, winter weather woes. What impact a record-breaking storm had in Alaska? CoastTV is coming back after this. Across Delmarva, the first steps in long-awaited Salisbury project are underway. Families continuing to fill the Wicomico Public Library and enjoy its resources, but there are hopes that in 2027 the library will be moving over to its new site at the former Ward Museum. Seth Hirschberger says that the library is expected to see $2 million of the raised funds that will officially be on board.
It reflects all the support in the community for the public library, and for this project in particular, all the funds that were raised. That donation is money that was donated to the library from people in the community that care about the library and that wanted to see this project go through to success. And that money is an important and big part of the money that will pay for all the renovations that are needed at that building for the library.
Hirschberger also says that a smaller library space will remain at an undecided location in downtown Salisbury.
Get this, Anchorage, Alaska snowfall set a daily record on Tuesday. An ongoing winter storm actually brought back-to-back records to Anchorage on Monday and Tuesday. Over 9 inches of snow fell in some areas. The severe weather caused significant delays at Anchorage International Airport. That is something we really don't have to worry about here, at least for today, Chris.
No, not today. I know the snow lovers are just anxiously waiting for a snowstorm here on Delmarva. Not today. We have temperatures in the 40s and 50s this morning. 45 in Lewis. We've seen some fog primarily to the western portion of the peninsula, but a really nice day through Ocean City, Fenwick Island. We're getting those temperatures up into the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. Plenty of sunshine into Lewis, Rehoboth. The winds are going to be picking up later on this morning to near 30 miles an hour. Some fog in and across Cambridge to start, but a sunny day ahead as we finally see the sunshine on the peninsula after days of gloomy conditions. Kathy Gallagher, Ocean View, Delaware. You just won an umbrella from CoastTV. Congratulations there. And you can always call our CoastTV First Alert weather phone for your latest forecast. We'll talk about the continuing thaw and when some rain rolls in our next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. Still ahead, dockside death discovery. What information investigators are providing about a dead whale found in the Delaware River.
Also, economy enhancement effort, how a Georgetown program about to expire has provided benefits to small business owners.
And tackling technology, why Ellendale is considering increasing its number of security cameras. Stay with us on CoastTV News Today.
Now on CoastTV News.
Business benefits breakdown. Why several establishments in Georgetown say renewing a development program is vital for its success.
Ellendale eyes why town officials say more cameras are needed.
Whale found dead. The shocking discovery in the Delaware River and the next steps in an investigation.
Good Wednesday morning, Delmarva. Some patchy fog out there, primarily from the midshore Kent County on northward. It's a mild start. We say hello to sunshine. Temperatures pushing to near 60. How long does the thaw continue? I'll have details.
This is CoastTV News Today.
January 7th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for joining us today.
6:29 a.m. Warm weather. In some of the ponds and the lakes in our area had that film, or maybe even more with ice. It's probably likely going to melt today. I know what you're going to do here.
I think Matt Pensick's gonna be enjoying it. This is Matt. Oh, wait, hold on, you guys. Don't worry, it's coming back. We all need to see this photo, this image here of Matt Pensick on.
That is a summer thing, and I don't think I'll be out there.
It's warm enough. Chris said it's getting up to 60 degrees today.
Yeah.
Like, this is close enough. I know you missed your kayak.
Yeah, but Chris, the water temperature is going to be too cold for such a delightful activity like that.
Oh yeah, I don't recommend getting in the water. It's still very cold. We are in winter after all, but yes, we are going to continue our thawing out here on the peninsula. Right now in Cambridge, 39 degrees. Now we have a warm front that's pushing through the area that's causing some fog across here. Get that warmer air moving over the much colder ground. We've been well below average here to start the year. We have a dense fog advisory. Kent, Caroline, Queen Anne's, Talbot counties. This runs through 10 a.m. where we could see visibilities as low as a quarter of a mile. And that's really the zone where we've been seeing the fog primarily away from the coast throughout the midshore and then along Kent and Newcastle counties. 44 in Milton, but we're at 50 Bethany Beach, 50 in Salisbury. So it's all about location as far as the temperatures are concerned. Winds are relatively calm at this hour, but we're waiting a front back off to the west. It's going to swing through and pick up those winds later on this morning through the early afternoon. But we are in for a beautiful day, mostly sunny skies. We get those temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60 across the area, and that thaw is going to continue into the end of the week, but we do have some rain to talk about. Unfortunately, just in time for the weekend. I'll break that down in my full 7-day forecast a little later on.
Thank you, Chris. Now our top story this half hour, Ellendale town leaders are trying to figure out how to move forward with a plan to increase security and surveillance throughout the town.
That's where we have our Elisa Weber. This is a plan that would put security cameras on Delmarva power poles. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Yes, town leaders here in Ellendale say that the town received a $100,000 grant to install cameras on Delmarva power poles like one you see right here. But according to the town, the installation process of those cameras has not been simple. On your screen right now is what those cameras look like that the town wants to install. They say they would provide a 270-degree view and the ability to see up to 15 meters in each direction. However, from previous reports, town officials were told by Delmarva Power that they could not attach cameras to those poles. And the town said they have thought about putting up their own poles next to Delmarva Power ones. Town leaders said they now face a March deadline to use that money or they will lose it. We spoke with locals here in Ellendale who say extra surveillance would give people peace of mind.
Not just Ellendale, but I think the entire county needs to improve safety. This is a small community. Surveillance is key.
Well, if anything, I think it would probably help people feel safer. I mean, that's kind of psychological, but I would just look to data in other places where they installed cameras.
And town leaders will further discuss this camera project at tonight's town council meeting at 7 p.m. Back to you.
From Ellendale to Georgetown, and the council there is considering whether we renew a state-designated downtown development district program, a move that could affect businesses, property owners, and future development.
CoastTV News reporter Nicole Richter spoke with downtown business owners about what the decision could mean for them.
For Olga Monterrosa, downtown Georgetown isn't just where business happens, it's years of work and investment. She says the Downtown Development District, a state program designed to support downtown growth, has been an important source of support.
Well, for me, these programs are like a support system. They're the ones that open doors for us small entrepreneurs, so I think that's a real advantage.
She says programs like this help open doors for entrepreneurs who may not have the resources to get started on their own.
Sometimes there are many of us who don't have the strength to start, but then these people come along and give you the motivation. They tell you, you can do it. And then you start to see, and you say, yes, I can.
Now, town leaders are deciding whether to renew Georgetown's Downtown Development District program for another 5 years. Some small businesses say the funding and incentives can make projects affordable that might otherwise be out of reach.
Anytime that we can partner with outside groups, like I said, including the state, or if there are other partners that are willing to come into Georgetown to help us improve the services for our local citizens and those visitors, it would be great.
Town officials say they'll also be reviewing potential boundary changes, noting the district benefits not only the businesses, but local economy as a whole.
It brings more opportunities for businesses here within town, which then ultimately benefits our residents.
The outcome could guide how downtown Georgetown grows in the years ahead.
A public hearing is set for next Monday before the town submits an application to the state. In Georgetown, I'm Nicole Richter, Coast TV News.
Georgetown has had this program for about 10 years, and now they are looking to apply for another 5 years.
Happening this afternoon in Dover, the Driving Under the Influence Prevention Task Force will look at concerns over convictions. That includes the rate of arrests as well as the rate of convictions. Now, along with some of the reasons why those arrests did not lead to a conviction, the task force is also looking at how often the increased penalties for subsequent offenses are imposed. They are expected to finalize recommendations in the coming weeks. Now, an investigation underway after a dead whale was found on the bow of a container ship docked at a port near Philadelphia. The Marine Mammal Stranding Center says the endangered whale is believed to be between 25 and 30 feet long.
Crews removed the carcass and are performing a study now to determine how it died. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has opened a federal investigation.
The Ocean City Film Festival celebrating its 10th season this spring. Early bird tickets are now on sale for the festival, which will run from March 5th through the 8th, and more than 100 independent films will be screened along with filmmaker Q&As and special events. Comedian Patton Oswalt will headline the festival with a live performance on opening night, and those discounted tickets are available now through February 15th.
A temporary water outage is scheduled for parts of Assateague Point next week. Worcester County Public Works will shut off water Tuesday, January 13th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to install new isolation valves. Worcester County Public Works says about 500 homes in the area could go without water. Officials say if weather causes a delay, the work will move to January 14th.
Sussex County keeping its leadership in place for the new year. County Council has reselected Douglas Hudson as Ocean View as council president, with John Riley of Millsboro returning as vice president. Both held the same roles last year, maintaining continuity in county leadership. Council also approving J. Everett Moore Jr. to continue serving as county attorney. Officials say the decisions help provide stability as the county moves into 2026.
Maryland Governor Wes Moore announcing new economic agreements with most of the state employee unions. The deal comes as Maryland balances tight economic conditions while also trying to support public workers. More than 11,000 state employees will see the equivalent of a 2% pay increase, which Moore claims is a $37 million investment. He says the agreements reflect months of good faith negotiations. Talks are still underway with other unions. President Trump says that Venezuela is set to turn over millions of barrels of oil to the United States. The president writing on his Truth Social platform that the interim authorities in Venezuela will turn over between 30 and 50 million barrels of high-quality sanctioned oil to the United States of America. President Trump says the oil will go by storage ships and unloaded at U.S. docks immediately. And we still have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up on a somber reflection of the Los Angeles fires 1 year later, but officials are saying they now know.
Plus, Maryland students do good. The big impacts made by local students fighting hunger.
And the Seaford boys basketball team returning to the court in 2026, playing at Middletown last night. We'll have a full recap after the break. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
We salute Corporal Matthew Ty Snook, a devoted 10-year veteran of the Delaware State Police who served with professionalism, steadiness, and heart. Assigned to Troop 6 at Price's Corner and known as a dependable C-shift trooper, he was a trusted partner and respected colleague who proudly served Delaware every day. We honor his sacrifice and hold his legacy of service in enduring gratitude.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Good Wednesday morning. Delmarva taking a live look into Laurel. We got the clear skies. There's sunrise, 719 this morning. We're at 46. That's our average high for this time of year. We've seen some fog primarily across the western and northern portion of the peninsula, but we are improving across those areas. Some visibility down to a half of a mile. We've had quite a temperature gradient as well. 30s and 40s to the north, 40s and 50s to the south, so it's been quite a range as that warm front pushes through the area. Winds right now not all that gusty, but that's going to change as we push into the afternoon as this weak front pushes through the area. You see this area of low pressure continuing to swing off to the northeast, and that's going to swing in that front and allow for those winds to pick up through the afternoon. 60 degrees this afternoon as this early January thaw continues. Look at the temperatures by Friday and Saturday, and then it's back to reality by the second half of the weekend as a cold front pushes through. We will talk rain chances Friday night and Saturday coming up here shortly.
This week marks 1 year of the devastating fires in Los Angeles, and despite promises of cutting red tape by California Governor Gavin Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass, many residents are still displaced from their homes. The Palisades and Eaton fires burned more than 37,000 acres and killed 31 people.
Homes, schools, and businesses all destroyed. A year later, people in these communities are holding a number of events to honor the victims of the Los Angeles fire. The new chief briefing officials ahead of today's somber one-year anniversary.
The outcome has made it incredibly clear that our mop-up and verification process needed to be stronger. We have to own that, and I do.
And the January 7th fire was reignition of a New Year's Day fire that year. The Palisades fire went on to become the third most destructive wildfire in Southern California history.
Students at Worcester Prep made a big impact this holiday season. The school's annual Student Government Food Drive brought in canned goods, non-perishable items, and donations to help purchase holiday meals. The food will be delivered to 10 nonprofit organizations across Delmarva and Delaware to help families in need.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
On the hardwood, Seaford boys basketball made quite the trip last night, traveling over 60 miles north to Middletown. The Blue Jays made the trek with momentum on their side, beating previously undefeated Colonel Richardson by double digits to close 2025 and split their 2 games in Governor's Challenge. And they looked like they were picking up right where they left off at Middletown in the first half. At one point, they led by double digits against the Cavaliers, but it would not hold. This has been a little bit of a problem for Seaford as they would end up losing that big first half lead, 64-49, the final score. The Cavs just got better and better as the game went on, picking up the 15-point dub. I mean, late in the game, Middletown was throwing oops from half court and just having a good time getting out in transition while also being very methodical in their half court offense. Their leading scorer, they didn't have anybody with more than 20 points. It was a total team effort for Middletown, who downed Seaford, and despite beating a very good Colonel Richardson team to end Gov Challenge a couple of weeks ago from the Waikamaco Civic Center, Seaford are going to need to iron out some second half issues if they want to be better than a 500 ball club, which they currently are right now. Have a great morning, Delmarva.
And tonight on DSN at 6, you can catch Chesapeake Community College Harrisburg men's basketball game, and at 10:30 it is the final score. And on DSN Plus, in addition to that Chesapeake game, here are your exclusives. It's all high school wrestling tonight on the app. At 5, you have Delmar Mardella in Seaford. Also, Colonel Richardson goes up against Snow Hill. At 6, Del Castle takes on Hodson. Big one here when Cape visits Milford.
And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hope you're having a good day so far here along coastal Delmarva. And if you join us today at 4 on Coast Life, the fun of the holiday season may be over, but that doesn't mean that the fun here along coastal Delmarva has to stop. We're going to be headed over to our friends at the Milton Theater because it is tribute month. A lot of great music in store for you over there. And of course, it's a new month, so we will be stopping by our friends at the Art League of Ocean City to see what's going on there. All of that and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
And
Come on Coast TV News today. Flu cases climbing. What's driving the surge and what symptoms to watch for next?
Mild temperatures out there this morning, 40s and 50s on our way to highs around 60 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Winds are going to be picking up. We'll talk more about that, plus the fall continues. Your full 7-day forecast up next.
And the time is now 6:48 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into Lewis. No sunrise revealed today, but Chris, during commercial break, we were just talking about the Olympics coming up and what you would choose if you could play any sport in the Olympics. You were too predictable, Chris.
Yeah, well, of course, ice hockey, right?
Obviously. We also talked about bobsledding too. That could be a next career path for you.
That looks fun to do. Always wonder how you get into that, right?
Yeah.
As we take a live look into Ocean View, we are seeing, dry conditions there, clear skies, not dealing with much in the way of fog across the coast this morning. We're at 48 right now, quite mild. We do have that dense fog advisory that continues for Kent, Caroline, Queen Anne's, Talbot counties. That runs through 10 a.m. We could see visibility as low as down to a quarter of a mile, but we are beginning to improve here, and that's really the zone where we've seen the fog this morning. A warm front's pushing through the area, so we've had quite a range in temperatures, a lot cooler to the north where we were in the 30s. Along the coast and to the south, we are in the 40s and 50s. Wind gusts right now anywhere between about 10 to 20 miles an hour. Those winds are going to be picking up through the morning and early afternoon, but the warming trend continues this morning. 15 degrees warmer in Salisbury, 16 degrees warmer in Ocean City than where we were at just 24 hours ago. See, plenty of moisture off to the northeast. A weak clipper system is continuing to push into New England, and this weak front extending southward is going to swing through later on this morning, but the thaw out is underway. We've been well below average ending the year, and to begin the year we were above average yesterday with that high of 52 and on our way to well above average temperatures today. 58 in Milford, we'll see a high of 60 in Georgetown, 54 Cambridge to 60 Vienna, 58 Princess Anne to 60 in Salisbury. So really nice day across the area as we continue to see mostly sunny skies. Clear this evening will fall into the lower to mid 30s across the area. Now by our Thursday, still a really nice day. Partly cloudy skies will top out in the low to mid 50s. And then there's those winds picking up later on this morning through the afternoon, gusting to 30, 35 miles an hour. But then those winds are going to be relaxing as that pressure gradient relaxes through the evening and into Thursday. Looking really good over the next few days. Thursday, we're at 53 degrees, partly cloudy skies. 64 into Friday. We're primarily dry. Rain chances ramp up Friday night through Saturday. Saturday is the most unsettled day here over the next 7. As that cold front pushes through the area, we see a few showers Saturday morning, but a better chance rolls in Saturday evening as that cold front swings through. Winds are going to really begin picking up as we go into the day on Sunday as colder, drier air filters into the region. We're at 66 Saturday. Wouldn't surprise me if some areas along the peninsula get to 70, believe it or not, ahead of that front. 50 on Sunday as temperatures fall. Winds pick up Sunday into Monday, and then we fall back into the 40s on Monday. Grace.
Now, flu-like illnesses running rampant through most of the U.S. with the highest levels of people going to the doctor for fever plus sore throat or cough in nearly 30 years. That's according to CDC data. Dr. Gavin Harris with Emory Healthcare says a new flu strain called subclad K, it's a lack of natural immunity to it, along with lagging flu vaccination rates, are all working together to wreak havoc. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months or older who has not yet been vaccinated this season get the annual flu vaccine. The agency says approximately 130 million doses of the vaccine have been distributed in the U.S. so far. And the time is 6:52 a.m. Matt Pensick, time to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
One of my favorite times of the morning, and this morning and today, our coastal pet of the day, right there on your screen, that's Daisy. Daisy is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, was submitted to us by David in Frankfurt.
Do a little dollop of Daisy, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, David, for sending in a photo of Daisy. Very cute. If you want to send us your photos of your pets, you can take a look at your screen and scan that QR code.
It's right there, top center. If you scan it, that allows you to get your friends to Coast TV News. And then you can watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
Time is now 6:55 a.m. It's time for the things you need to know before you go. The Downtown Development District program in Georgetown getting a look at by officials for renewal. It's a move that could affect businesses, property owners, and future development. As part of this review, town officials say they'll also consider potential boundary changes, noting the district benefits not only businesses, but the local economy as a whole. Some small businesses say that the funding and incentives can make projects affordable that may otherwise be out of reach.
Number of Delaware's top-ranking Democratic elected officials are participating in a legislative summit today. It's on the campus of Delaware State University in Dover. One of the breakout panels focuses on the most pressing issues for Sussex County, and Governor Matt Meyer is scheduled to hold a fireside chat to close things out in the afternoon.
Georgetown's fire company showing their work for 2025. They say the company responded to 413 calls within town limits and 359 out of town limits. And by far, motor vehicle accidents were the #1 calls in the category. The company responded to 23 structure fires.
One final check with First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. And Chris, we have winning weather for only the 7th day of January.
I know, right? Can't beat it. And if you're not a fan of the cold, soak it in because we're going to see some changes in that extended forecast. Temperatures getting up to around 60 degrees this afternoon, mostly sunny. Winds are going to pick up, though, late this morning through the early afternoon with some gusts as high as 30, 35 miles an hour. We stay dry and pleasant tomorrow as well. 53. We're up to 64 into Friday. Most of Friday is dry. I think we'll see a few showers roll in by the evening and overnight. Saturday is an unsettled day. We begin with a few light showers, and then the cold front pushes through by the evening. Behind it, we turn much windier. We're going to see gusts to near 40 miles an hour Sunday through Monday, and then we're back to temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s through early next week.
Thank you, Chris, and I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to today. Look, I said before, I'm a temperature appropriate for the season, so this is an anomaly.
Okay.
I'm with you on having some snow at some point, but it's not happening
It's
today.
what they call a wacky Wednesday,
Yeah.
60 degrees in January. It's crazy. Well, thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News Midday.
Yeah,
today.
today's show's coming up next at 7 a.m.
And then we'll be back for Coast TV News Midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great